Here, registered dietitian, and we've all done a dirty bulk at some point or another. We're trying to put on muscle mass, we're trying to get bigger. We say, screw the clean diet, we're going to eat everything, and we try to bulk up. Well, we've all done that, but how many of us have gotten most of our calories from Coca-Cola and hot dogs? Maybe not as many, but that's what Sergio Oliva did, and he became Mr. Olympia and was one of the best bodybuilders on the planet. How was he able to have such a terrible diet and still be one of the top people in the world? Let's dig into that and see what we can find out. So there's a really funny story about Sergio's supervisor trying to uncover the secrets of how he got so massive. They wanted to see what he ate for lunch, so he snuck into the lunchroom when Sergio was eating one day, only to find him downing 2 boxes of Twinkies and sipping on Coca-Cola. Needless to say, the supervisor was shocked and probably didn't know what to think about that. But that was not uncommon for Sergio to eat during the day while he was at work. So doing a little digging more on his diet specifically, the types of foods that he would eat. So I mentioned the soda. He would eat 1 or 2 boxes of pastries, including Twinkies or other assorted donuts. He was known for eating a tremendous amount in one sitting, often eating a whole pizza, a dozen eggs, boxes of pastries. He also drank a gallon of whole milk every single day. So it sounds like whatever he could get his hands on that was cheap, easy, and efficient is what he would go to. Obviously a lot of junk food there, not a lot of meal prepping going on. Now, plenty of people eat like that, but they're not usually Mr. Olympia contenders. So how did he manage that? Well, back in the 1960s, bodybuilders often had to work full-time jobs to support themselves while they were pursuing their sporting events. And for Sergio, this meant 10 to 12-hour shifts at either a meatpacking plant or a steel foundry. Then he would go to the gym and train for 2 or 3 hours on top of that. Sergio didn't have a lot of time to prepare his food, and back in the 1960s, knowledge about sports-specific nutrition and bodybuilding nutrition was nowhere near what it is today. He just knew his body needed calories, and the most efficient way for him to get those calories in was through junk food. All right, let's break down a typical day of eating for Sergio. Now, I've estimated, based on his size at the time and the amount of physical labor at his job and his 2 to 3 hour long workouts, that he was burning around 5,500 calories per day. So just to maintain his weight, he would need to eat at least that much. So what did a typical day look like for him? Well, breakfast might be a giant plate of 12 whole eggs. He would drink a gallon of whole milk throughout the day, on top of 2 gallons of water, I might add. It gets pretty hot in those still foundries. A gallon of full-fat milk is about 2,400 calories and 192 grams of sugar. Add in 40 ounces of soda every day, that's about another 480 calories and 130 grams of sugar. A box of pastries and 2 packs of Twinkies comes out to about 800 calories and about 70 grams of sugar. Adding in the eggs, 4 beef hot dogs with white bread, which he would commonly eat, and you're looking at about 5,800 calories a day and over 400 grams of sugar. Now, you might be thinking to yourself at this point, man, this guy is a walking diabetes case waiting to happen. But hold on, not so fast. When we eat carbs, they're stored in one of 2 places. They either go to your liver or they go to your skeletal muscle tissue. Now, when a sedentary person eats a box of pastries every day, storage in their muscles and their liver is already full, so the sugar has no place to go. The liver is forced to turn it into fat through a process known as de novo lipogenesis. This can lead to visceral or belly fat, high triglycerides, and fatty liver disease. But Sergio's extreme work and training volume combination created a furnace-like effect for his metabolism. His storage capacity was never full, so he could eat tremendous amounts of sugar and calories and not gain fat. So that's how Sergio was able to eat a junk food diet and maintain a high level physique. He essentially worked all those calories off. Now, if you like to eat junk food and you want to stay lean, you're going to have to find your own version of what Sergio did. He is keeping your carbohydrate storage capacity under full load so it doesn't get converted to fat. A really interesting anecdote from Sergio's career: during his 1984 comeback to bodybuilding, he actually tried to eat eat a really clean diet for the entire contest prep, kind of like Frank Zane. He ate white fish and chicken breast and salads, and it just did not work for him. He came in super flat, wound up taking 8th place. I guess he should have stuck with hot dogs and Coca-Cola because that's what worked for him earlier in his career. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video and the breakdown, feel free to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.